The main idea of this channel is to help you build your projects as fast as possible, especially if they're related to AI. We know that the majority of these projects will just be MVPs, and you just want to get it out there for people to use and actually validate if the project is interesting to continue or not. But in other cases, you'll have specific needs that could only be solved by self-hosting. So you can either buy a VPS like from Hostinger, or just use a droplet from DigitalOcean, or in many cases people choose Amazon Lightsail. This will only charge you once per month, so you don't have to worry about those unexpected costs. And when creating the instance, you'll see that you get up to 90 days free. So 3 months for you to test and validate your project is pretty interesting. The problem is that in the majority of these instances, they give you a low amount of processing. So this really isn't enough to build our Next.js projects, for example, and I'll show you guys why. Inside my instance, I did install Easypanel, and if you guys want to know more about the process of installing N8N inside the AWS instance, check out the video above. What we are going to do here is insert a service called website. I just picked a normal app. And then here in GitHub, since the repository is public, I can just insert the owner, my repository, which is my app, the branch is master, build path, save, and now choose Nix packs, the default configuration, save. Now, as soon as I hit deploy, you'll see something really nasty, which is an eternal load of this Next.js build. And as you can see, this is just a normal Next.js, like a blank project. There's nothing in here. I just started the Next.js project and pushed the repository over to GitHub. So it shouldn't be having a hard time building this. But because of the machine's capacity, this is what happens. You get all the way inside the burstable zone. And as soon as you notice, if you refresh this, it's eternally loading the Easypanel instance. So yeah, it just crashed the server completely. Tried to access it again, got a bad gateway. And if I update this, let's see if something changed there. Still 38.94. It might take some seconds for this to update, and this could go all the way up to 50% or something like such. The ideal situation here is to not hit stop, because if you stop and start the instance again, it will change the IP, and then you'll have to change the IP as well for Easypanel and for all the other containers running inside this Docker. Let's just hit reboot. After rebooting, you'll have to wait for some minutes until this goes down. Okay, I cutted the video so it wouldn't take so long for you guys. Now, as soon as you refresh, you'll see that it's down back into the sustainable zone. Access your Easypanel and we'll do something different. Instead of building inside of our instance, we're going to build on our local machine, create an image of that inside of our Docker, send the image to Docker Registry, and then use that image from a service inside of our Easypanel. Explaining it like that might make it seem hard, but it's really not. And I'll show you the step-by-step process. But if you have any questions, please leave it down in the comment section. I'll name the project proj, hit create. This doesn't really matter. The first service you'll want to create is a Redis service. I'll just name it Redis for now. Saved it. It'll automatically generate the password. That's basically it. Let's create a new service. This new service will be the Docker Registry. Hit create, go to the project, see if everything is running fine. You'll have to wait some seconds or just probably hit deploy. It's really fast. So yeah, I got this app deployed, but the Docker registry isn't showing up here. So there might be some kind of bug. Let me update the Easypanel. Okay, now it's showing up and we got the correct logs. Nice. Here you'll have to add some environment variables. These are the exact environment variables, and you'll want to place your Redis address as well as your Redis password. Save that. Go back to Redis, get the credentials. Let's write that down here in our notepad, get the internal host, and then the internal port, and also our password. Now go back to the Docker registry, place this here, place the password over here. You'll probably want to use a pretty secure password for this, but I just filled it in with some dummy text. Hit deploy, go back to the overview. Actually place a divider for you to understand what's actually happening. And ideally, you'll notice 3 rows in your log using Redis, starting upload purge, listening to port 5000. Great. Let's add one last service. This last service is an application. Let's call this website. Hit create. Instead of using GitHub, now we're going to use this Docker image. Your Docker image will be, you can use this domain, copy this, go over to the website. The Docker image is this. Plus, and you'll see where this comes from, but basically my app and latest. Remember to erase the HTTPS add as the username admin and password admin also. This is what we inserted while creating the Docker registry. Ideally, you should have a pretty nice password instead of just admin. Okay, that is set up. Another thing we'll need here is the deployment URL. Get this, place it inside of our notepad. So the deploy URL is this. Nice. Another thing we'll need is this exact URL. Let's copy that, come over here, registry, paste that there. And now just head over to your project. It's exactly this one that I just deployed. What you'll have to do is have a Docker file. You might already have a Docker file inside your project. Another pretty nice file is the sendimage.js. This is basically a bunch of bash commands like docker build, docker login, docker tag, and it all uses the environment variables, which we will be filling out right now. The registry URL is exactly what we have here, and then the deploy URL is that one. Everything is filled out. So here in the website, when we filled in the image details, so my app latest, it's from this environment variable right here. So if you add something like 2, then you'll have to come over here and place a 2 like that in the exact same structure. If you have everything filled in, all you have to do now is just type in node space send image JS. Probably my face is in front of everything. I got a build error. This is probably because my Docker isn't running. Be sure to run your Docker desktop. Let's add some spaces here for you guys to see what I'm typing. So again, node send image.js. My Docker is running. It's going to build the image, and this might take a while, so I'll cut it until it builds everything. At this point, everything is built. Now it's logging into the Docker registry and just pushing the image over there. As soon as it pushes the image and the image is inside of our service for Docker registry right here, our website service will be triggered through this URL to then deploy based on that image. It's just finishing, so it finished pushing everything, and now you'll see a message saying that it triggered the deployment hook. Back in our Easypanel, you'll notice that it's loading. In the overview, let's wait for a while, and you'll see the deployed message right about now. Yeah, now. And for you to see your website, just click open. It'll open up your project. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what if I just want to update something? So let's update this deploy now button. Deploy now. Let's change this to something like deploy tomorrow. Nice. Execute this again. And obviously this code might need some adjustments. Maybe if you want to make a code specifically for updating, you won't have to go through some of these processes maybe. This will be much faster to update since the majority of things are cached. Then soon enough, it pushes the image, triggers the webhook. Back to our Easypanel, might take like 5 seconds. And soon enough, you get the message. Nice, finish loading, got the message. If I F5, there it is, our change. Now we'll obviously want to check out the metrics to see what changed. And this is probably from creating all of these services. This isn't from the updates. So let's F5 this to check either if this changed or not. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. It'll be just a second for you guys. Okay, it's been 5 minutes and you can see here clearly that it just dropped back down to the sustainable zone. Let's deploy one more time just to check. Like, let's just change something like back to now and build it while also deploying it for you guys to have an idea of how much processing it takes to just update the project. Checking the website, it's deploy now, and this will probably take some more minutes. So yeah, it's been some minutes and it just got even down. This really doesn't use anything of the CPU. It might just be a better way to get your MVP out so your users can use your tools as fast as possible. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you need any of the code, you can find it here in my repository. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then.